All right, when hitting ground strokes on the baseline, you want to make sure you control the height. If you hit the ball too high, it'll probably go out, or you'll give your opponent a nice, easy put away. So you want to control two things: the angle of the paddle and the swing path. In terms of the angle of the paddle, a closed face will make the ball go low or into the net, and an open paddle face will have the ball go high. Now you want to make sure you control the height, or the swing path as well. You want to make sure you try to either swing from a low to high, or from a level playing field, or from a level point of play. So from low to high, it will probably go high and over, and if you're swinging from a level point of play, it will probably go low. So those are the two things you want to control in order to make sure you have control of the height of your ground stroke. All right, when serving, you want to control the direction of the ball. One, you want to make sure you try to keep the ball in play. That's the most important part of getting the serve in terms of direction. Or if you want to focus on targeting someone's weakness or just making them move, that's another way you can implement directional control when serving. So how that's determined is the angle of the paddle at the point of contact. Now, if you're gonna open, let's say you open the paddle face, you tilt it out when you serve to a wide angle, it's more than likely it's gonna go wide when you do the serve. However, if you tilt it towards the tee when you're doing your serve, also it's gonna be more than likely you're gonna hit the tee if you tilt it towards the tee and you go right down. And that's basically how it works. Once you control the angle at the point of contact, it's gonna basically determine the direction of the serve when you're hitting that serve in the beginning. All right, when you're at the non-volley zone and you wanna do some volleys, you wanna make sure you control two things. One is the paddle angle, or the face of the paddle, and two is gonna be the swing path. With the face of the paddle, you wanna make sure that you understand that if you have a closed face, the ball will probably go into the net. If you have an open face, it'll probably go out or give your opponent an easy put away. You can also understand that you can also have a perpendicular paddle face where it's level, and that can actually go forward or low depending on how you want to do it, on the forehand or the backhand. So you want to make sure if you're on the backhand, keeping a perpendicular paddle face, you can actually go low and forward, same on the forehand side. And that's basically how the paddle angle comes into play if you're doing it from a perpendicular standpoint. However, you also have to take in consideration your swing path, whereas if you go from low to high, understand that it will probably go up and out. From high to low, you'll probably go into the net. And once again, perpendicular, you can also go forward, and that would probably be what you want. So perpendicular, you can go for that on the forehand, and on the backhand, that perpendicular paddle face will actually be good for that swing path on your volleys. All right, when contacting the ball at the non-volley zone, your contact point it has to be in front of you. That's the strong point that you want to make sure that you hit the ball right out in front of you, and that's between your body and the net. That's the strongest point you can have on the contact point when doing volleys. You don't want to hit it behind you or at your side, because you have less control when you hit the ball at that point. So having the ball in front of you on making contact point, whether it's on the forehand or the backhand, having a contact point in front, that's where you want to have it. So if you have your paddle in front of you and you make contact point between your body and the net, on the forehand, that's a strong position. On the backhand, that's also a strong position. Notice I'm not catching it behind me or at my side. Contact point should always be at the front on each side.